Hello, I'm Maria Lopez, online editor for Talon, and I'm here speaking to the president of Active Minds, Adrian Gomez, and the vice president, Alexis Suayan. So, could you tell me a little bit about the role Active Minds plays on campus?
Well, Active Minds pretty much it targets students in general, like with pertaining to mental awareness, because 1 in 4 students have actually experienced like whether it be depression or anxiety or an eating disorder and et cetera, et cetera. There's so much, and we try to basically spread awareness to kind of take down the stigma that mental illnesses have, and it's like a really negative stigma and like a lot, and that causes like a lot of students to not want to reach out to other people because they're embarrassed or they're ashamed. And also a lot of students don't even know like where to go about their resources, like where can I go if I'm having issues, and who can I talk to about this. So basically like we hold events just so that we can raise funds so that we can provide those resources for them, and also to just spread awareness to other students around campus.
And for events, what type of events do you guys plan over the whole year?
Well, it kind of varies. I mean, this semester we did Suicide Awareness Week. That was like one of our most recent events that we did. What else have we done?
Well, we like on top of Suicide Awareness Week. It was we also did some. We kind of collaborated with the Student Health Services because it was a National Mental Health Awareness Month. Kind of like a week or so after Suicide Awareness Week. So what we did is we pretty much like did chalking, just kind of like to help students express themselves positive messages, and then to kind of like have those positive messages available for other students who are passing by and who might not have the opportunity to like actually write something down. Maybe they read something that uplifted their spirits a little bit more. We also had a workshop earlier actually
This month.
Yeah, not this month, but the other chalking was actually on October. Sorry about that. But yeah, our workshop was actually pretty much on suicide prevention and awareness, and that was actually again in collaboration with the Student Health Services. Attendance was a little bit low, just because not a lot of students really that comfortable with coming. We let them know, or they're really busy. So it's kind of like one of our biggest issues is actually reaching out to students and making it like
relevant. Like
yeah.
a lot of students. I mean, that's why we want to spread awareness, because there's still a lot of people out there that don't understand that mental health is actually just it's like relatable to everyone, and they just don't realize it. You know what I mean?
Have you gotten any feedback from students who have taken part in the events you've had?
Oh, of course, yeah. Students all the time, they're just always like, "Oh, this is so fun!" Like, "Oh,
like,
this
what
is awesome."
club are you guys?
Yeah.
And or there'll be people that'll be coming back from the next semester, and they'll be like, "I remember you from last semester." So even though maybe it's not like not everyone's going to be aware of everything right away, or the stigma is not going to go away really fast, but as long as we reach like at least one person, then we've done our job to do something.
Yeah, that's the way we like to think about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we reach a lot of people because a lot of people do, like, after participating in the events, they're kind of like, they walk away with a smile. They walk away thinking like, oh, that was really fun. Or even if they don't participate and they just kind of, like I said, with the chalking out event, they just come around and they read it. Like, you can see people pretty much like just like stopping and like looking at it and then kind of just like reading it, and they're just like, oh, and they smile about it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, oh, do you want to write something? Like, oh, no, I got to go to class. But that was nice, it's cool that you guys are doing this, and we're like, thank you. So I mean, just different little small things like that really help. Another thing that we had like in the past was like what is it, National Eating Awareness Disorder Week?
National Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
Yeah, sorry.
And like, yeah, it's just like for everything that, because there's a lot of things. There's Eating Disorder Awareness Week, there's Stress Less Week, there's National Day Without Stigma Week. So there's just like a lot of little events, and for every event we usually try to have a booth up and try to figure out something to do each semester.
For last semester with the National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, it was interesting because that was we pretty much what we did is we asked students to think about something that's positive that they think about. We try
what
to,
do they like about themselves?
Yeah, so we try to kind of like say like something from within, but a lot of people kind of brought out like external like physical features,
and
which
that's
is
cool too.
Yeah, which is cool. But we like to, try to take it back to like more like who are you as an individual, and like how do you stand out, and like how not only stand out, but what do you like about your features that you have, like, are you quirky, are you happy, or are you, are you this, are you that. But I mean, like I said, a lot of people did stand out with I like my smile, I like my eyes, and as long as you can appreciate yourself or whatever,
Yeah.
like that's cool. Like that works.
For the future, I know that finals are coming up.
Yeah.
And what do you guys plan on doing about that? Because students kind of feel the stress of
Yeah.
the crunch of taking tests. And
So we're hoping. Well, we're not gonna say which date because wait. Did we figure out if December 1st was gonna be okay?
Yeah, we were pending on a date that we are actually gonna have stress last week.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what we do for the end of finals. I think probably the week after December 1st, which is gonna be the week before finals, we're probably gonna have, or we are gonna have a stress less event. The events that we're actually going to be doing are still pending because we're still trying to get.
Just yesterday we had our meeting, so we were just bringing out ideas of like what we should do for this semester, and it always changes, or try to think of something different.
Yeah. So for this semester, what we wanted to do is we wanted to see if we can get a DJ to attract people, around. Unfortunately, the only place where the DJ can set up is
where the hill is.
Yeah, where that hill is. So that would, pertain to us kind of like being in that area. But if that was, if that's the area that we could be like, and like get students attracted to, then that'd be really cool too. I also wanted to see if we can get the student health services or student wellness center involved as well again. I know that one of the director, she brings in her dog and like for like therapy. So maybe maybe we can have, maybe not her, but maybe her dog like come over and then like provide some type of therapy, and then also like as a killing two birds with one stone, have students not only come up and like get a little bit of stress relief from petting the dog and stuff like that, but also get information from the student health center.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much.
Importantly, like all the resources that we can give to other students.
Yeah.
So for the resources, I know the student health center is one of them. Do you guys know of anything else?
We actually have like a little pamphlet that we made, and basically when you open it has like a lot of hotlines. So whether it be for domestic abuse or suicide, or just like if you have a hotline you want where you need to talk to someone, and we also have like other mental health service clinics, and it's just like providing other people different options. So whatever is more convenient for them, and if they really want to check themselves out to go somewhere, then we give them the options.
Yeah. So we don't really know them off the back of our head because
there's just so many.
Yeah. But I mean, we always have that whenever we're tabling, whenever we're raising information about this or that, or even when we're fundraising, we'll have those resources set aside so that people can actually go ahead and take one. Like you maybe have somebody that you're thinking about, or maybe yourself that might be dealing with some issues. Well, there's somebody to call in case if you don't feel like you can turn to family and friends.
Yeah, and like even though there's people like people that come to our table, maybe they're not personally experiencing something, but I've seen like a lot of people who have kids, and they're just like, oh, I know like my child's going through something, so maybe I can like grab this pamphlet if that's okay. I'm like, yeah, of course. So it's just like just making it available to everyone.
With the rise in mental health awareness on campus, how do you think students should approach mental health and the stigma that comes along with mental illness?
Yeah, the topic in itself can be uncomfortable for a lot of people, but when they realize like all they have to do is just be there and just be more sensitive and compassionate about it, then all that person needs, like whoever's going through something, they just need someone to just be there, even if they might not be able to empathize completely with what they're feeling.
Yeah.
It's just knowing that there are people who support you, and people who just like who aren't going to judge you for what you're going through, because honestly it's completely normal and common everywhere.
Yeah, I think what students should really take in mind is like going off of what Alexis said is just be there, just be an active listener and kind of like really listen to what the person's going. You don't need to really give so much back, like as long as you're there as a show of support, then that individual is probably going to feel a lot better, and they're going to feel like they can come to you and they feel more safe around you. It'll build a connection between the two people. I mean, let yourself be vulnerable, kind of like share your own personal experience that you've had, connect with people on a more intimate level, and then people are going to feel more connected. I mean, that's basically what it's all about. It's just kind of like lowering down the walls and kind of like letting people know that I know that you have these issues. I also have these issues too. Like, I I go through different things. So it's all about
building the open conversation too.
yeah, I mean that's basically what it is creating that openness of, this is what we're going through, and let's just make it a lot easier by being honest about it and kind of just, like being here for each other. So I think that's what students should really be aware of, is just sit there and listen, sit there and listen and just have an open ear. You're not going to damage the situation. The only way you're going to damage the situation is if, you actually intend to, but what most people don't get is like, you're not gonna make this person actually commit suicide if you don't have the right words to say. As long as they have a ventilation system, a place to ventilate, a person to go talk to, they're more likely not gonna go towards that route. They're probably gonna feel a lot better.
Speaking of personal experiences,
Mm-hmm.
how has being in Active Minds changed your lives?
So when I first came in for Active Minds, I kind of had the wrong idea about it. Like initially, I just thought, oh, it's like where you talk about your feelings and whatever, or just like where you support other people. I'm like, that's cool. But I mean, I walked in and then I was like, it's not what I thought it was. But I realized it's even more than what I wanted, because I wanted to be able to reach out to people who might be going through something similar, because at that time I was like in a really bad place and I just wanted, people to relate to at that time. But when I got to know, like, Adrian, and I got to know Johnny, and just like a lot of the people that are still in this club, I think it changed my life because it kind of helped me build some sort of confidence, and it sort of made me realize that there's a lot of people that are going through the same thing as me. And it's just, it's like rewarding to be able to reach out to other people that say, like, thank you for, that's a nice thing that you guys are doing right now, and I kind of needed that right now. So it's just like along the years, it's just like, it doesn't get old to me. You know what I mean? The feeling. So.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I mean, I like me being a part of it. I was kind of looking for like involvement in the school, and I was like a psych major, so I was a part of the psych club, and I was starting to get involved in that. And then I started hearing more about Active Minds, and I'm like, oh well, let's see what that's about. So I started going to the meetings, and I'm just all like, all right, so this is what we're doing different things, to like talk to people and raise awareness towards mental illness. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I thought like, I want to see, like, I got involved in that mental health worker program, and that was really interesting too, like the actual aspect of helping people with mental health issues or mental diseases and illnesses, or mental illnesses, helping them by relating as a person to them, and rather than just like, oh, you're suffering from something, so I'm gonna treat you the way I should treat you because you have this disease. No, it's more or less like being
It's more
open.
personal.
Yeah, like, so it pretty much reminded me and allowed me to be more, to be a person to a person, to talk to people on a personal level, rather than kind of subjecting them to a category as being this or as being that. So it's helped me kind of like really build meaningful relationships, and remember that build relationships that are very humanistic, and very like understanding people on their level and where they're at and where they're coming from. Um, like Alexis said, there's the people that we talk to. Like, it's really interesting talking to people, because you'll sit there, like, you're trying to like advocate these different illnesses and stuff like that, and kind of like saying that you're here for them. And sometimes, like, it has its bad and its good when you start talking to a person for like 15 minutes about just different things, and you guys just start talking. It's awesome, because you're building a really good, you're having a good experience with somebody, and you're talking to them about something personally about that they've gone through. Yeah,
like the fact that they feel open enough to be able to tell you what their personal issues is, I think shows like that we're doing something right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome. Like, you get to know people, and it's just like, all right, like, I don't feel like like I'm not doing anything, because like I said, getting involved with clubs is doing something, it's being a part of something. And then getting involved in this, it's like trying to be a part of something more, trying to like change something, trying to trying to build a new type of culture, like where people are more accepting.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you
course,
for
yeah.
inviting us.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Alright, it was enjoyable.